Hello, folks. Welcome to the off night. It's I got a brick wall behind me, but that doesn't mean much. It's actually fake. I can go in, I can go out, in and out. But it's been a very cold week. Had to put my snowshoes on. Had to get the sleigh out a little early again. The deer, once again, I decided to use sled dogs this time. But it's very hard to be an Uber driver right now. Anyway, let me get your host and MC, Mr. Mark Sweetman.
There we go. Hey, welcome to the off night. It's our Monday night show every Monday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and you can tell by my surroundings. There's the treadmill right there behind my left shoulder. That's the treadmill. So you know we're in LA because there's a treadmill right behind me. I guess the weather's not nice enough that we can't go out and walk every day. We got to have indoor walking too. So
there you go. Yeah.
But anyway, the West Coast studio is in my son's home.
Got it.
And they've been great hosts this month. And it's good to be here. We're here every Monday night, and I start off with a discussion with my sidekick and announcer, Andy Jensen. What's new? What's new in the cold tundra? I've missed all that great weather you guys are gonna have.
You're missing the weather, man. It's just fantastic.
Well, I tell you what,
water out turns into nothing but icicles. You know, it's the wind's 25 below. I'm carrying around 3 blankets, a sweater, and an extra jacket just in case I get stuck in the side.
We went down to 65, and that's the same way people dress here when it goes down to 65 in Los Angeles.
Yeah, of course. You in Los Angeles. You know, I remember Van Gunther used to do a joke about nobody walks in LA, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I'm talking about the song, You know that song, Nobody Walks in LA? Now I understand it. Nobody walks in
LA. Anyway, Susan's not going to be with us tonight. As regulars to the show. I don't know if we've mentioned this on the live cast or if we do it in our little discussions before and after. But, you know, Susan's singing at Carnegie Hall in June. And the group she's singing with has their rehearsals on Monday night. So she's got her
practice.
She's got her church rehearsal on Wednesday, her community choir rehearsal on Tuesday, and then Monday now she's she's rehearsing 3 times a week with three different groups. So now
that's how you get to Carnegie Hall.
That's how you get practice. Exactly.
3 practices she's got. You know
that means I have the poem, so I will be reading that.
Reading the poem, okay.
Reading the poem. I just bought my kids a printer here because I needed it. You know, I mean,
backup poem. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. In Minneapolis, an ICU nurse demonstrator is dead. As a peaceful protester, he took bullets instead. Domestic terrorists, they say, though accounts disagree. Trump and his posse besmirch deceased Alex Pretty. Not ICE, but Border Patrol pulled the trigger this time. Though 300 miles from the border, is it a crime? Customs and Border Patrol have authority for 100 miles. So in federal court, now the lawsuits have been filed. In the Middle East, Gavli body has been returned. He's the final hostage from Gaza. Let peace now be earned. Let in the unconstitutional International Stabilization Force. Now Trump will bring peace to the Middle East, of course. And that's our poem from the news headlines tonight by our resident poetess, Susan Sweet, who's not with us tonight.
Susan Sweetman, congratulations.
Yes, it's always fun. And we can, I can keep this aside here. We can use that for talking points we need to go to. But right now, let's get our buddy Jason out here.
Yeah.
It's always
I
fun.
always have a backup poem. It's an Edgar Allan Poe one.
You have a backup poem? Oh, Leonard Cohen?
The one that I memorized as El Dorado from Edgar Allan Poe. So if we needed it, I can recall it. Okay.
And I have an enchanting story about a man from Nantucket. But
Yeah, but mine you can use on the air. Okay.
Oh, well, just throw that in my face. Okay,
Of
fine.
course, of course.
I memorized the final soliloquy from Mr. Big by Woody Allen. It's an old, did you ever hear Mr.
No,
Big?
no.
Kaiser Lupowitz. I should
No.
pull it out. I should pull it out. I think I got it on some other laptop. Oh, I'm using your. Oh, by the way, I'm using your Apple iPad, Jason.
Oh, fantastic.
And this is the first time I brought it out here. And
Well,
I wasn't able to get it set up last week, but I got it set up this week.
you look great.
It looks fine. I love the picture. I love the sound. Everything about this
Yep.
is better.
Yep.
Well,
I can understand your hesitancy to bring it out there, because if they do ask you to turn it on, you say, "Well, a friend lent it to me. Everything on it's his. I don't really know his whole name. I do stuff on the internet with him once a week.
Everything else is stuff he does.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. You can almost hear the clink of the handcuffs and the slam of the detention cell.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent." Yeah, that's the poem that I know.
Do they? I mean, anymore? Do they really need a reason to arrest you? Can't they just shoot you now and just claim that you're a terrorist?
If only. Jeez, wouldn't that be so expeditious? I mean,
Well,
no.
Come on, don't be the people that want the bloodshed. There's too many of those.
Well, you know, if you'd like to hear, I didn't hear anyone having any sympathy for when Ashley Babbitt got her head blown off. And if you go onto TikTok, you can still see oodles and oodles of people doing TikTok dances for Charlie Kirk getting shot through the throat for having the temerity to hold a microphone and engage in conversation. So this is the road we've been going down. I'm sorry. I prefer not. We all remember a song from our youth that starts something along the lines of, let me see if we can remember this bit of lyric. Tin soldiers and Nixon's coming. Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming.
For
dead
Ohio.
There you go.
Gotta get down to it.
Soldiers are cutting us down. Should have
Gotta
been
get
done long ago. Yes, yeah. So we have been in the midst of rage bait and algorithmically driven division for a while now. It would be nice if all of us would, and that includes me. I'm not going to sit here and absolve everything. When you have people on my side, like the execrable Nick Fuentes or Andrew Tate, people who I find odious with a capital O, somehow or another being grouped on my side. They're not. I'm not on their side. That's for damn sure.
Remember when we could all agree that Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin were evil?
Yeah.
Oh, those were the days.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like why watching West Wing is like in 2006 is like you have Republicans saying, freedom, like not like the fascists of Hitler, they were actually really.
Well, West Wing was was Andrew Sorkin's attempt to do the Clinton administration without Bill Clinton.
If we could only get rid of that crud, we could have a pretty good administration.
But to be fair, Sorkin is a great writer. I mean, I may not agree with him, but he's a fantastic writer. I mean, he understands his craft really, really well. And Martin Sheen did play the hell out of that role. You got to give the man credit.
He was great.
Yeah. I mean,
I think the character Bartlett was not a great president, though. He had a lot of things that he did that went against his principles and all that.
But that's where Sorkin is a good writer, because every president has to do that. I think Barack Obama would have been a lot more liberal if he could have been, but he's a pragmatist, so he got what he could. Same thing for Bill Clinton. If you think about it, Clinton, who's fairly conservative, if you look back at Clinton's policy, he was the best liberal Republican since Nixon. But the man was an Arkansas Democrat. He understood the uses of power, and you get what you can.
You talk about liberal positions that he went against. the three strikes law and
the welfare
and that
reform.
welfare to workfare,
Right.
all that stuff. Yeah, that's not exactly what you call
And who was the
liberal.
president?
progressive liberal.
Who was the president who deported the most people?
Obama.
That's right. You know,
Yeah, but now how were they able to do it without shooting people in the face?
well, that's a good question.
They use something the law.
Well,
you know,
they didn't have people driving at them in SUVs. They didn't have people bringing guns and magazines to a peaceful protest.
They had guys in three-piece suits knocking on the door and say, "Look, are you a resident here?" No.
And by the way, you have these people out here raising every kind of a ruckus for people who hate you, who are here to rip this country off, who are convicted child molesters and whatnot. That's who they're actually going after and picking up right now. That's who the target was for the ICE raid. No, I don't believe it's true. Please feel free to look it up. You have the same internet I do. You have access to the same facts that I do.
So everyone they're picking. So when they go to these schools to pick up.
Here's the difference between.
Let Mark talk. He's making a point. No.
So when they go to the schools, take the kids to get them to go to the door to get their parents to open up. They're just as guilty as their parents.
Could be. No. I don't know. I mean, name the actual scenario where that's happened, because I'm not aware of that.
Shit, I grew up Catholic, and even Catholics don't believe 7-year-olds are guilty of sin. So
yeah. Well, if you listen to the modern intelligentsia, we are all guilty of some sort of sin, and we cannot be absolved of our sin due to our whiteness and our privilege. That is the ruling orthodoxy right now on the left.
Obama went to the businesses to collect his people, because the businesses were encouraging people to come across the border. And so he went towards the businesses. That's where he arrested the people.
Obama also authorized the use of a drone that killed American citizens who've been convicted.
You keep bringing that up.
Nothing.
You keep bringing that up.
Because
I get it. I get it.
True. Because it's true.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it. By the way, if you bring up children, remember.
Right, so bring charges again. Bring charges. Bring war charges.
If you choose to be in a country that's at war with the United States, you get killed.
Oh, okay. So if you're in a country where we're not in a declared war, and you're sitting there in a restaurant and your daddy was killed a couple of weeks before, it's perfectly okay to be a non-convicted American citizen and to get blown away by a Reaper drone firing a Hellfire missile.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy. Okay. Well, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, it's called warfare. Okay.
Yeah, as I said, well, what was the declaration of war that we were? Can you please cite to me when we passed that declaration?
Well, it wasn't about war. It was about
it wasn't a war. It was.
We haven't had a declared war since World War II.
Thank you, Mark. And once again, thank you very much. I mean, when we destabilized Libya, remember that when we had Muammar, and let's be honest, Muammar Gaddafi was the fashion plate of the late 70s, early 80s when it came to crazy dictators, along with his all-woman protection force. I mean. Was he a despicable despot? Yes, but was he?
I can't remember who took Libya down. Was it Obama?
It was Hillary Clinton. It was essentially Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she was Secretary of State.
Oh, so she approved of that.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
Secretary of State.
We didn't follow through in support though.
Well, you got to understand. I mean, for instance, like when Nixon was president, I don't know. He was a foreign policy president, but Kissinger had a lot to do with what we were doing and how we were doing it. I don't know if LBJ had the best advice in the world. Didn't listen to any of it. This is the way things are going. There's no way that I can look at this stuff and be particularly happy about it. But by the same token, when you have a governor in Minnesota who's taking the same approach as Governor Wallace did back in the mid-1960s.
That's a far stretch.
No, it isn't. It is.
What they did. No analogy. Recently, they sent a guy who was in charge of ICE. They sent him back to California with the guys that shot the guy. So they're out of there now.
Who I don't know who you're. Again, are we talking about a director? I mean, what?
We're talking about the guy who was in charge of the guys on the site.
Mm-hmm.
So I just heard on the radio they're sending him back to California with the 3 guys that shot him. So they're all in California.
Okay.
So now the guy who runs the border is coming out to take care of his guys who were shot. So it's like I know all I know is like was what I heard on the radio. I don't know if that's any. There you go.
Now, is this the radio in your car or the voices in your head? I just want to.
Oh, then that's an insult.
Yes, it is.
That is
Well,
an
yeah,
insult.
yes, it's an insult.
I never talk about the voices in your head. Come on.
Well, true, but you can ask about them. Then you can.
Yeah, his voices are always going. Don't do it.
If you'd like to call them, they are available on a 1-800 number. It's $2 for the first minute.
His voices are put in at the prison. They get a little, thing in the back of his head. They keep saying,
now you're gonna throw the prison thing at me. All right, okay, fine. I can take it. Hell, I can dish it out. I used to be the shot caller back when I was on the block back in the day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but that's part of your humor. That's part of your.
I mean, you remember Vic Morrow in Glass House, the with Alan Alda, the wonderful film.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
Written by Truman Capote. And if anyone understood prison sex, it was Truman Capote.
Truman Capote. Yeah.
I mean, there's
or at least how he imagined it anyway.
Imagine, desire. I don't know. You put whatever name label you like on that. Yeah,
it's interesting watching Vic Morrow in combat than watching him in that one. It's like.
Well, my favorite Vic Morrow movie is Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry, where we have Vic Morrow unironically flying around in a helicopter, and we know that didn't exactly work out for him in every movie.
Oh.
Twilight
Zone, yeah.
I mean,
he was in the first episode of Twilight Zone, second.
Hey, come on! But the first time you saw Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry, tell me you weren't expecting that ending. They get away from it.
I can't remember the ending.
I don't remember seeing it.
Who was in that? I can't remember.
You don't know Peter Fonda?
A
ditzy blonde? They're driving away from the cops. They're in a hot car. Who
played the ditzy blonde?
I'll have to watch it again.
You look her up. I think it was a Vanilla Whore. I can't remember her exactly, but
I just when I think of those, I think of movies like that. I think of like.
I said, wasn't Carol? It wasn't Carol Lynn. Mark, do you have? You're the lieutenant of this operation.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah. I got my buddy right here. Let's
there you go. But the thing, Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry is another example of the postman always knocks twice, in the sense that they run away from the cops. They've done this their caper. They've pulled it off. They're getting away from the cops. They're tearing up the back roads of what is obviously California, but it's made to look like rural nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And just as they finally have gotten away, they've shaken the cops. The Vic Morrow in the helicopter with a walkie-talkie and everything. And just as it looks like they're crossing a railroad track when their car is exploded by a railroad train.
Got it.
And it probably hasn't been equaled in terms of intensity since No Country for Old Men, when Anton Chigurh is driving away from taking care of Josh Brolin's wife. Although we don't know exactly for sure, but and he's
what
driving.
Susan George was
Susan
Crazy Mary.
Susan St. George or
Dirty Mary. She was Dirty Mary.
Dirty Mary, yeah. Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry.
That era, I think of films like that, and the Doberman Gang, and Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
Corvette Summer.
Yeah, exactly. And Billy Jack.
Born to Lose. Oh, come on. Who didn't know? 110 Soldier Rides Away. Come on.
Hey, that was a major hit, and then the sequels all sucked.
And you know who's in that movie? Howard Hessman. Has a wonderful
Car Wash. Car Wash came out.
Car Wash. Oh my
God.
Oh yeah. The somewhat more scale version was The Getaway with Steve McQueen.
And Ally McGraw.
McGraw.
The Getaway played prominently in The Offer, which was the movie series they made about the picking of.
Because that's the one where what's his name? Where oh, come on!
Evans was dating Ally McGraw, and Steve McQueen comes and takes her away.
Yeah,
and just before that, the film that started the trend for these types of films was the one with Peter Fonda and Jack Nicholson,
Easy Rider,
and Dennis Hopper. Easy Rider,
Easy Rider.
Yep.
Or the other one is where's the one where you hold it between your goddamn knees? What's that?
5 Easy Pieces.
Ivy Pieces. That was another one.
No,
You keep
I'm talking. That was a studio film. Some of these films I'm thinking, like these films I'm thinking of, were not studio film, or not large studio films.
Right.
It's like Paramount and
well,
and Universal weren't distributing these. You know?
I found on YouTube the it's kind of a lo-fi post, but it's still great. The 1972 Heartbreak Kid, not the remake, but and I sent a link to my nephew because I pointed out to him that not only is this kind of a slow burn kind of a movie, like I said,
is that the one with Sybil Shepherd and
yes, and Charles
Midnight
and Charles Grodin and Eddie Albert and
Eddie Albert, yeah,
where he falls in love with Sybil Shepherd on his honeymoon with his new wife, and that's the one where Eddie Albert is playing just the absolute malevolence, but I mean, but beautifully so, with it, and yeah, it's a great movie. And the one thing I like to point out to my nephew, who I sent a little link to, is that this is Elaine May. This is her second film.
Oh, that's right.
And this is a time when lady directors are kind of few and far between. You had, Ida Lupino, who they let direct now and then, who was a very competent director, very good director, and who did a lot of television, by the way. And here Elaine May, does this movie, and I think she does a beautiful job of it.
Right.
I mean, who can forget the scene where his new bride is sunburned and covered in all kinds of grease and ointments, while trying to get a piece of while they're trying to bring her he's getting her a piece of cheesecake and telling her that he wants out of the marriage, and Charles Grodin, who just plays the psychopath beautifully, just absolutely totally soulless. And it's a wonderful movie. And it's also Miami as it used to be. Andy, are you still there, or have you frozen up?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you moved.
I'm listening.
All right. At any rate, yeah, it was a wonderful film, and again, it's a very 1972 kind of movie, and I don't think we could get away with making something like that now. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys? What do you think? I mean, I don't see nothing but cartoons and superhero flicks that come out these days. The best stuff comes out either as some sort of limited series on Netflix or maybe HBO. But
can I tell you a film that I've seen? 3 films that I've really liked in the last year and a half.
Lay it on me.
And they're all based on musicians.
Okay.
Well, the first one I saw was Elvis, which was really the story of Colonel Tom.
Is that with Hanks? Tom
Hanks?
Hanks?
That's with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Great film. Yeah. Then I saw A Complete Unknown about Bob Dylan. Great film.
Great film.
And this last Christmas, Susan and I went and saw Song Sung Blue. And it wasn't about Neil Diamond. It was about a Neil Diamond impersonator. And I never thought a film about an artist impersonator would be so compelling. But it was a very well told story. Good movie. God bless. I saw interviews where I got blessings from Neil Diamond. Of course,
there you go. Yeah.
It's selling a lot of his music again. You know what I mean? It's selling a lot of his records again.
Mm-hmm. Well, does anyone remember? Speaking of impersonators, anyone remember Jim Bailey? He used to do Liza Minnelli and Phyllis Diller. And
was he local? Is that he?
No, Jim Bailey was a national. Again, we're going way. We're getting in the Wayback Machine. Used to be like on Carson every now and then. He made the rounds on several of the daytime talk shows. But he used to do Liza Minnelli. Just absolutely.
Can you be a trans impersonator anymore? It seems like that's...
Well, that's the thing. I mean, back then it wouldn't have been trans. It would have been a drag queen.
Yeah, we called it drag.
It would have been drag.
So, and you know why we liked it? Because the British did it so well. If the British,
exactly.
If you do it with a British accent, you wear your dick wherever you want.
They had it on Bridges of the River Kwai. They had guys dressed in dresses. You know.
Well, I mean, come on, they're English. What else would they do? I mean, know. That's not to insult our dear friends from over across the water. I'm not saying you're all a bunch of poncy little poofters, you limey bastards.
But you got to remember that the first Shakespeare was done by all men. So the women were played by men, the men were played by men.
The men were men.
The men,
Men,
run.
men, men,
Men,
men,
men,
men,
men,
boys,
men,
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 men.
men.
Yes, yes, yes.
And one guy
Stam,
we call
stam,
Sally.
Hey, but if you want to have some fun with it, check out sometime. Again, it's on YouTube. That is a wonderful clip of Marlon Brando doing the Dogs of War speech as Mark Antony, and
Oh yeah.
he really does a great job with it. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It was a,
he really is
well,
able to.
he was with James Mason in that.
Yeah, yeah. James Mason played what's his name?
Julius. He played Brutus,
Yeah, he played Brutus, right?
and Julius Caesar was played by
An old dude.
who?
Some old dude. He was just an old dude. I can't remember. But John Gielgud's in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not ancient yet. Although, given that the fact the man knew Caesar personally, I think helped him add to the role, because he plays Cassius. That Hugh Cronin, I think, directed, if I'm not mistaken. That was Ruth Gordon's husband, if I'm correct. Perhaps I'm not. I don't know, but I think. She was married to Garson Kane. Never mind. At any rate, yeah. Bernard Herrmann did the music. Mankiewicz, I think, wrote the script on that. And in fact, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So again, it's one of these wonderful, wonderful films. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, his Anthony's Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech is really good too. Which again, so easy. It's so cliche. It's so easy to screw that one up.
Louise Calhern.
Oh, absolutely. The name was on the tip of my tongue. Yes.
I know. Marlon Brando, Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
John Gielgud is Cassius.
Cassius. Yeah.
James Mason is
Brutus.
Brutus.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
You have Edmund O'Brien in there. Deborah Kerr.
Yep. What's it? Not Ed Bin, but I think it's John Considine, who's one of these actors who's like in a lot of movies with like 3 and unders, 5 and unders. Guy who looks like a walking slab of roast beef. Again, been in a million films. One of those one of those actors who's like above the extra position, but he can do like a 5 and under, or maybe 10 lines, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
One of those. Again, the kind of, if only I could have been an actor way back then, that would have been to me just like the absolute perfect job to have. The kind of guy who gets cast for. Everyone's going, yeah, I remember him. That's what's his name? That's wait, what else was in the poem besides the uprising in Minnesota?
Oh, back to the poem. We have the final remains of the last Israeli was returned from Gaza.
Yeah, last Israelis. Yeah, about damn time for that to happen.
What else we got here?
Nothing about.
That's it. That was basically the only thing she discussed. I don't know what the International Stabilization Force is. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's that thing that Orange Head is putting together. It's supposed to be
the Board of Peace or whatever they say.
Yeah, that's it. The War of Peace. Supposedly we're gonna go and gonna go make peace. And I got Putin's with me, and I got all my buddies. Suppose he's trying to do it as a opposition to the UN, and God knows what that's going to be.
All right,
I think he's really working hard to get that Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
My theory, my feeling on this is that if you have to ask for a Nobel Prize, you don't get a Nobel Prize.
Well, I mean,
you get to shake down a world leader who got the Nobel Prize. Give me it now. It's like,
I mean, who else has gotten it? What, Le Ducteau? Gosh.
He's just mad because Obama got one he didn't deserve,
Oh my God! I mean, he wasn't even president yet, and they gave him the Peace Prize. I mean, and then goes on to kill more people with drones than Bush ever did. But then that's saying something. Baby Bush had no problem pushing the button. Daddy Bush. Can you believe Daddy Bush actually encouraged his son not to go to war?
Yeah,
like he did.
Remember, George Senior. George
Bush
Senior was
had
the guy.
Front. He had an actual invasion.
Yeah, George Senior's the guy that pulled back.
And George Bush had somebody who shot down these buildings. So it was like, basically what the problem was is that there was no front. There were all these guys scattered throughout the area, and they were fighting basically behind skirts.
I would argue that the other problem was the fact that the people that we really needed to go after were also the people who were friends of the Bush family, namely a lot of Saudi oil money.
Oh yeah,
that's why. And so they just dangled some fresh meat, some tin horn dictators.
Trump has said something like that about the pedophiles. A lot of people I know will get hurt. He was saying when he was talking to Marjorie Taylor Greene when she voted against him on the release of the files, and he was saying a lot of people I know will get hurt. So it's kind of the same thing,
Well, no, hold on. That's what she said, right? I mean, no, I'm serious. That's what she said, and then this is the same woman who talked about the.
Are you saying that's what she said, or that's what she said he said?
That's what she said he said.
Okay.
Right. And let's remember, MTG is also the one who talked about the Jewish space laser setting Lahaina on fire. And let's be honest, if Israel does have the Jew space laser, I so want to be in charge of that thing for just a couple days. Please let there be a Jew space laser. I mean, this would be almost as much fun as having a Tantalus field from Star Trek when they did the alternate Enterprise, when you could just like push a button and you had like Sony Trinitron with the death button. Which was really, you got to admit, if you could have one weapon.
The alternate world?
Yeah, the mirror. Yeah.
The mirror universe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had the Sony Trinitron with a little death button underneath. And all I had to do was like dial up who he didn't like. And it's like, okay, you ready to go? And bang. I mean, and that's when Spock had to threaten Sulu with if I just disappear, my death would be avenged by my operatives. And some of those are Vulcans. And, oh dear. Spock had Leonard Nimoy must have had a fucking blast with that role. I mean, because it's sort of like, he explains that it's very internal, very, because obviously, you had Leonard McCoy or DeForest Kelley and Shatner, who are both very kind of out there, kind of, What's the word for it, Andy? You know what I mean.
Guess who just showed up?
Your wife?
Yeah, I'm gonna put her on.
Oh, great.
Oh, cool.
If I can figure out. Oh, come on. Oh, hold on. All right, let me do this. Is it gonna let me? Oh, there we go. Here, I can add her. There she is. Yay!
Hey!
How did rehearsal go?
Fine. We're gonna meet every week, at least for a while. We might move to every other week, and then I'll be free on Mondays. But I'm sorry for the conflict. Did you do the poem?
Yeah, I did the poem.
Yeah, we've been debating it ever since. It's gotten heated.
So much in the news.
I know you always talk about how we never get to your poem stuff, but it's been 33 minutes. So I don't think we've talked about anything else. So if you judge your poems based on how much we discuss it, you did a good job. So
no, whatever you want to do in the news, that's fine. I would gear the poem toward whatever news stories, but Mark doesn't prepare, so he can't really. And when I've asked him to give me the headlines you want to do, like he'll send 30 headlines, like he just cuts and pastes from the news. It's like, you're not going to talk about 30 things.
No.
So he does.
We barely get through 3, so you're pretty.
You look
safe.
comfortable, Mark. Leaned way back.
There we go. Not only that, but you guys are in frigid weather, and it's so funny. I was joking with Andy about how they wear the same thing out here when it goes down to 65 as they do when it goes down to 20 in Michigan. Everybody's bundled up here because it's 65 degrees out.
Yeah, I had my pipes freeze up a little bit.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's like, so I have these little square heater things. So I was blasting heat underneath it, and then I realized I have to go all the way down into the basement. I hate going into the basement. I know there's some sort of ghost living down there, and it
Ooh.
could be rats too. I just hate going to the basement.
But
But
we
that's
have
where-
a nice little drippy faucet that keeps it from freezing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I did try to
Yes.
do that. I couldn't do that.
So
But I had to
that
put
drip
the
is that drip actually has a purpose. So
yeah, that's
yeah.
right. That's
It
right.
keeps it open, yeah. But my other faucets were fine. It's just this one is set in a way that it says right there, totally exposed to the cold. It happens every year. But I found the place where I can put this little box, this little heater, and it's enclosed in this like area, like a cement block area. And I shot it up to heat up there, and then I'm got it plugged in. My only concern is I think the water is right next to the gas. So if I blow up by next week, you'll know what happened. So.
Yeah, not good. But I think they did that at our condos because they complain about, can't have renters, got to have permission for renters at this homeowner's crap. And they give people a hard time if, somebody's staying with you that they don't recognize, and just, we've got the Karens and everything. And then so people went away. Some of the people that live here go to Florida for the winter, and then they had water mains break and things. Their plumbing break while they're gone for months and months. Well, you can't have it both ways. Either let people have family stay there that don't live there, like, or have, your rules and regulations.
Do you guys?
Very much, and micromanagement. And so they put some heaters on last year. There was something about that. So, but I have to let the water run a long time to get past the hot water from the cold faucet.
Well, just as an ancillary question, what about this Airbnb? You guys are landlords. What about this Airbnb crap? Because here in Ann Arbor, I've seen a lot of buildings that used to be like condos that are now like Airbnb, and it's crazy.
I don't think
we're not landlords, but Livonia has certain rental requirements. You have to pass inspection and get a certificate, and have
Ann Arbor has legislation coming.
Livonia wants to micromanage, but we weren't doing anything like that. Just, I think that I'm allowed to have my children live with me or stay with me if they want to, but the association takes issue with that. I'm like, it's none of their business.
Yeah, that's what home associations are. You could basically say this: it's micro. You call it micro organs. It's micro dictatorships. That's what they are.
They were so nasty that I kept returning the form. I live here, and they kept saying, fill out our form. Who's renting? And we're like, nobody's renting. I live here. And so then I got a nasty letter from our homeowners association spent our membership money to hire an attorney to
sue you guys.
To say, you keep returning the form.
Right.
But we know you don't live there. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I sent a copy of my driver's license, but I shouldn't have to do that. But I was pissed,
Well, this is why people end up at the office with pitchforks and torches.
Yeah.
They don't believe they're your kids.
I got a hold of the Fair Housing Center, and they also put some pressure on, but they took issue with that my children are different nationalities, so they just assumed that we're renting. And that's very much a fabrication of just their prejudice. And
they were speaking to you in a southern drawl, going, I'm not sure them kids is really yours. I don't know what's going on around here, but I tell you what, we ain't gonna have that kind of thing
here. That's essentially what they were saying.
Yeah.
We know you're renting.
From my brother who has to rent out places, it's a problem. Okay, it's a problem.
What we have here is a failure to homogenate.
Yeah.
now you know what the way he wants it, so he gets it.
He gets it. You know, it must be
Well,
the way
it's
he wants
crazy
it.
because our middle son was here for years, living with Mark's mother, who bought this place. So and he has a different skin tone than my late mother-in-law did. So like they should have known. I don't get it, but
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to send them a copy of my driver's license to
No.
prove where I live, but
Mhm.
For many years, I had a regular customer who would go, Andy, you know this place, Independence, right on Packard. You know that condo complex that looks like it was designed by Mike Brady's architectural firm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I very 1975. You know, I mean,
Every time you drive by, you can hear pop, pop, pop.
oh my God, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
exactly. You know, I mean, but it's all Airbnb now. I mean, it's there's a few people who are like regulars, but everyone else, you know, that they're there for the football weekends or whatever
Yeah.
stuff. It's
Well,
crazy.
well, I mean, there is legislation going through the city hall right now to either ban or block most of that stuff.
About time.
Because it's
That's
like
kind of what's going on in
people
New
can't find
York.
apartments because people are renting them out as Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
jacking up the price in Ann Arbor, it's jacking up the price in Detroit.
Yes.
There's no Airbnbs hardly left in New York anymore because of their ordinances or whatever they passed, that
Yeah.
people have to live on site if they're going to have an Airbnb.
Well, I mean, if you live in a building, I think it behooves you. I want people who live there full time,
Yeah.
as opposed to some yahoos just rolling in for.
But I mean,
3
that's been the
days.
major problem is you have neighbors who own the stuff. Somebody does an Airbnb, then you get a bunch of beer heads coming in for the game.
Yeah,
And then they
exactly.
run off,
Yeah.
you know?
But, property owners should be able to, make a living. And if they want to rent out their property, I don't
If
see a
it's
problem with that
if
unless somebody's breaking the law. But, I can't really say that I would want to put regulations on somebody trying to make a living.
yeah, but that's what zoning is for. You know,
Exactly.
that's why you
Exactly.
use
So,
zone commercial property
Yeah.
to be and that's one thing. But this we're talking about sort of an intrusion. And again,
right.
this is where
There's
these
got to be a
gigantic.
middle ground.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, would you want a sewing machine factory right next to you in your house?
Yes.
Only if it was staffed
Yes,
by
I
children.
would.
Yes,
You're
actually, I
talking
would
to
like
a
that.
quilter.
Yes.
I would love.
Would you like to have a fart factory next to your house? Is that
Well,
what you
now
want?
hold on. Perhaps we've
Wait,
gone a little
sewing
too
machine.
far. I'll go with the sewing machine, or something where let's not forget that both France and England built empires on child labor. So let us let us speak of tradition and
Tradition.
tradition exactly. I mean, but if you own a house on a cul-de-sac, or if you own some a nice condo or whatever, and yeah, you got, like you say, beer heads in there just throwing parties and doing whatever, that's bringing you down. That has an effect on you as well. I mean,
Yeah.
that again,
Yeah.
Brings the property value down.
But again, in our situation, we weren't renting. So, if I
Yeah.
have adult children coming and going, it's none of their business.
I mean, I would love to send Robert Mitchum over there in the character of the evil preacher in Night of the Hunter to go over there, or Robert Mitchum from what's the movie with Gregory Peck where
Cape Fear?
Cape Fear,
Cape Fear.
exactly, as the
Hey,
apartment
counselor.
manager.
I know where I stepped, counselor.
I learned
So,
how to.
Mark, you've lost hold of your show. Are you gonna add anything to the conversation? You're just
He's
sitting
good.
back.
We ain't lost no control. We're just doing rips on old
They're,
movies.
they're,
That's
they
all.
are they are what we call in the comedy biz riffing.
Okay. Well, sorry for the interruption.
You're fine.
Let y'all get back to it.
We only got 50 minutes left. Why don't you stick around?
We appreciate your descent into the program like the Deus Ex Machina, the goddess of the machine who descends into the play throwing. Is there a feminine for Deus Ex Machina, or is it always? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I can't either. What do you
I
guys
thought
doing
it was
there, Andy?
pronounced Machina,
I was
but
looking through
there you go.
Machina sounds better.
my brother gave me a bunch of copies of stuff that he had for me, and he actually snatched one of these little seizures things.
Yeah.
And that guy that looks like the Christmas Spirit of Christmas, that's me.
That does look like
Really?
you.
That is me.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. That's why it looks like you.
Yeah. Well, actually,
You
I forgot I'd done this
back in your modeling career.
That was my modeling career. Okay?
I had a friend of mine who
I had a career once. I had a career.
I had a friend of mine who used to do print jobs, and sadly he passed away. And I saw his face just a couple of years ago. They were rerunning his image for this print campaign for Trinity Health, the St. Joe, but he'd done a print layout for them. And you know, when you do it, it's not like SAG-AFTRA. Once you do it, they pay you. That's it. They can use you pretty much whenever they want. And I just looked at it. It's like, Herb, you're back.
Footage.
Yeah, you know,
Herb, he's back.
Yeah, they paid you for.
Yeah,
to
so
use
you're
it in perpetuity forever and ever. You've been paid one flat rate.
exactly
like stock footage. In fact, that's coming back to haunt that one actor. He was just he's Asian. He was just interviewed on the Daily Show recently. Last week.
I'm surprised they're still not using Billy Mays from Beyond
he's pretty
the Grave.
big now, but now all his stock photos that he did when he was trying to make $100 here or there.
Well, I remember Chuck Connors had some films that came back to haunt him, but it's a family show. We're not gonna go into Mr. Connors' career. Larry Flint used to be a specialist in digging up some of these. Yes, I mean we yes. Yikes is a good word. That's probably what the attorneys said when they're like, oh, okay, hold on, what do we have? Oh my God! All right, yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem here. It's this is the world we live in. I'm afraid.
So what did Chuck Connors do? Was he in porn?
He was in a couple of gay porn movies back in the 8mm. Or it was someone who looked an awful lot like the rifleman without his uniform.
Well, in gay porn, don't they all look like the rifleman? Yeah.
Well, we actually are able to.
He was also a pretty good baseball player, very good athlete.
Well, which and sometimes you got to hit the showers and the lockers and and there's what the locker room attendant saw and there's all kinds of things. All right, I was just simply saying these things happen. I wasn't being specific. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, hell, it could be where. How about this Timothy Busfield? I was like, what on earth? First off, who cares? His career's been over for years, and he's married to the girl from Little House on the Prairie.
Something I didn't put in the poem. Did you guys talk about? This is the last time that the Sundance Film Festival is going to be there in Utah.
Where are they moving it to?
Colorado.
Boulder,
Colorado.
Wow.
So Robert Redford died, and they're moving out because the town's kind of
tired of it.
It's outgrown the town.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
So
it's just like
it's going on right now till February something. Mark, you're going to be in Utah. Maybe if you get stuck at the airport, you can go to the.
You have to Salt Lake City.
Out there hanging out with all his Mormon
city are
friends.
you flying through, Mark?
I'm changing planes in Salt Lake.
Oh wow! You go back to my old haunts in Logan, Utah.
No thanks.
You want to see the Wasatch Valley? Okay.
I used to do show when I lived out here. I used to do shows a lot in Utah.
Yeah, I did.
Provo, Salt Lake City.
They liked clean shows, and you had clean
I
act if
I had
you
a clean
kept it
act.
to your family stuff and
That was
I
was
said
it.
damn once,
25,
and they took
25
me
minutes of
aside.
driving on the freeways throughout the United States, and the rest of it was keeping my kid away from this floor fan.
The simpler times. Yes, I love it. And when
Yeah.
there's this wonderful story of there was a college or a comedy sort of thing down at Florida State, and it was demanded that the comedians be very clean. It's a big thing. They had their football stadium half filled up with the alumni and one of the talents that they hired for this thing, it was a high profile thing, was Dave Attell.
Mhm.
Wow.
And Dave Attell was told none of his usual, we can't even begin. And so Dave Attell comes out, and that is immediately what he leads with. And the crowd roars its approval. And then the other comedians following him with their sanitized set. We're sort of like, what? And my understanding, I mean, it was a high paying gig. Like what the headliner said, he got paid $50,000. I mean, it was a big deal. This was a big gig, but
Mhm.
it was one of the former performers from Saturday Night Live. Jim Brewer was the headliner.
Jim Brewer,
yeah.
Yeah.
But Attell
Jim Brewer was actually a better stand up than he was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
But you can't really blame anybody for that, because that whole process of getting stuff onto Saturday Night Live is such a it's almost Trumpian in
The
the way
sweatshop, the
people-
way that they have to produce it all and
did you
get their
guys
skits
know
written
any?
on Tuesday.
Right. Did you guys know anybody because you guys were out there, did you know anybody who was on the show or associated with it or anything along those lines? Or
Well, one of the guys who was from the Second City in Detroit went on to get onto this cast, and then now he's on two of the guys from Detroit,
DMV.
Sanchez.
When we were in Los Angeles, we and Rosie O'Donnell had a little show. We went to a taping before she became a megastar. But
Mhm. But I'm trying to think of the other guy. He was with Second City. He's now on the
Timothy
Tim. That was Tim. Yeah, he's from Detroit.
not Busfield, not Tim, not
No.
that Tim.
No.
No, it's Tim.
Although Busfield lived here.
Tim Meadows, I think.
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows,
Tim
yeah,
Meadows,
yeah,
yes.
yes,
He
yeah.
was from Detroit. He went to the normal Second City. The one guy I'm talking about went to the Detroit Second City, and he is on the Elementary Show.
Okay.
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary. He plays a science teacher.
Mark auditioned for the Detroit Second City show, but you were too old by then, Mark. I think they wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, they weren't going to hire a 40-year-old for their cast.
Well, you guys have got younger kids and whatnot. I am of the opinion that this young generation, they don't have a sense of humor. I mean,
it's different.
I don't know if that's true. I think
I was watching Saturday Night Live with my kids here in LA, and they were howling at stuff that I said, yeah, we would have basically knocked this stuff back in that stuff wouldn't have made the air back in the day, but they were just howling at this stuff. And of course, a lot of it has to do with what they're referencing. They reference all the things that the kids know. They'll make references.
Yeah, you have to know the references, or it's not
no
funny.
idea what the references are.
Well, I try and make references, but that just means that I'm qualified for an FBI watch list. Because
There you go.
it's like, hold on, at your age, how do you know about this? You're under arrest. We don't know what you've done, but you've done something.
Exactly. Hand over your Pokemon cards.
So the guy that was from Detroit who was in the Second City was Jerry Minor.
Jerry Minor, is that Jerry Minor's in Abbott Elementary?
He's in Abbott Elementary playing the science teacher.
Huh. What is this Abbott Elementary you keep talking about? Is it a TV show or
It's a TV show on ABC?
Yeah, it's streaming on one of the channels. I watched a couple episodes because of all the hype, but I couldn't really get into it. But I suppose it's good if you like all those characters and stuff. It's
we
an
have
okay
Abbott
show.
in Abbott Elementary in Ann Arbor. Is there any kind of a tangential relation, or
No.
is it just
No,
coincidence?
it's just
It's placed in Philadelphia.
what
Okay.
was that show with Johnny Fever from Ring the Bell? or the-
WK. No,
WKRP?
No, after WKRP.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the one where he
Yeah.
played the school teacher.
He played this high school teacher, and then the one
Yes.
actress married the boxer or whatever.
They should have called it I can't think of the movie now. The one with
What
Robert.
was the name of the show though? Saving the Bell or something. It was a high school
Yeah,
show.
that was called
And
something
so
Saving
Abbott
the Bell.
Elementary is like that, except it's grade school.
Yeah, but it's basically mostly about the teachers, supposedly.
Right.
The one thing, there's a couple of episodes that I kind of liked. One was the guy, one of the guys had done like he had gone to different schools doing like a kids show improv group. It's like, so I can identify with that because I did that.
Oh, by the way, off the subject, but Andy, I did watch the trailer for Nebraska. It looks wild. And that looks like I'm gonna have to watch the movie now.
You got to.
Yeah, but definitely, and the fact that it had the people in the cast that it had: Bruce Dern, Stacy Keach.
Stacy Keach.
Oh my God!
Nebraska, what's it streaming on something, or is it in the theaters? What's
Well,
Nebraska?
it wasn't.
It's a couple
You've
years
seen
ago, but
It's
I
a
got
movie.
nominated.
You've seen it, Susan. It's black. It's in black and white. The kid from Saturday Night Live. I can't remember. Shit. What's his name?
But Bruce Dern plays an old gentleman who gets one of these contest solicitors that says you've won $1 million, and he takes it on face value. I mean, that's what I got out of the trailer, and then he's going to go and collect his prize.
Exactly.
Yeah, and everyone in town is like, "You mean you're a millionaire?
Yeah.
you've been holding out on it." And it has kind of a sweetness, kind of a Lynchian. When David Lynch wasn't trying to be weird, he could be very sweet when he wanted to.
Well, I think it was
Will
Alex
Forte,
did
Will
this
Forte,
one.
and
Yes.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah,
Will Forte and Bob Odenkirk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Odenkirk's a hell of a writer. I mean, he's I don't know if he is direct or is appearing in this or not, but the guy was well, of course, I'm going all the way back to Mr. Show, which I can't believe was 25 years ago now.
Nebraska is 13 years old. I can't believe it's
God,
out.
That's
then I'm not allowed to be within 500 feet of it. But we'll thank you. I'm sorry. I know I'm hitting it hard too. I know. I'm sorry. I'll dial it back a few notches here if I can. But yeah, it looked good. It looked like an interest. The trailer was well shot, so
yeah.
I'll give the movie a whirl. I mean,
you can't go by trailers. There's people making. There's a whole industry of trailer making out here.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I love the ones that Colbert does, where they take ideas from kids for a film and then they make an actual trailer from their story ideas. Have you seen any of those? Stephen Colbert does.
Oh yeah.
And he gets real actors, to come and do the little fake trailers. They're so funny.
The group I was with was called Brainstormers. They would send out the kids to make their own stories, and they do like an English thing. We'd come in and we'd act out their stories. So,
That's kind of what Colbert does. He sits down and talks to kids, and we throw out these story ideas, and then they have a clip of the trailer. Sounds like the show is over.
Well, you know what that music means? That means we've wasted another hour of your time.
Yeah.
Half an hour of mine. All right.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks for saying. Oh, you get to see what the ending is like here. We basically turn up the music and then we say goodbye. We let everybody know we're here every Monday. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do all my banners here. Here is. Let me see. There's our link. That's what you do.
Click your link.
Please.
Don't forget to like us.
Don't forget. We want to be regular YouTubers.
Like the poem.
Right.
Like the poem.
Right. And then what else is there? Oh, that's it.
All right. Good night.
30 seconds.
Good night.
Poem was brought to you by a grant from the MacArthur Foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, we lost Susan, and not there's only 17 seconds left in the film. Anyway, we'll be back again next week, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. You run it time.
I have no idea what you're doing. Okay.
All right.
All right.
We'll be back next week. Good night, everybody.
Take it easy now.
Good night.
Bye, Sam.